You know what kept me up for 3 straight nights? Trying to figure out how I could survive Jack Baker from Resident Evil 7. I mapped out escape routes, analyzed his patterns, I even calculated how long it would take me to reach every safe room, and without fail each time. And you know what I realized? You're screwed, Resident Evil. It's game with its villains that are renowned for their crazy abilities and how scary they are. I wanted to see how likely it would be if you couldn't survive them, because I know you can't. See, in games you have infinite respawns, but in reality... After spending way too much time analyzing this, seriously, my therapist is really concerned, I found the 6 most terrifying Resident Evil villains that you have 0 chance of surviving. And trust me, you don't want to be that one delusional guy that comments, nah, I'd win, because you're not gonna win, you're not Gojo, you're done. Let's start out with everyone's favorite hillbilly regenerator, Jack Baker. An unstoppable killer who can take a gunshot to the head and shrug it off like nothing happened. First up, this man survived being set on fire, being hit by a car, and being cut into pieces. Your pocket knife isn't gonna cut it, literally. You may be asking, yes, I've run the numbers on the weapons that you could realistically get, and how likely they would be to affect him. Baseball bat, he'll take it and beat you with it. Chainsaw, been there, done that. And car, same thing. But what if I just hide, you may be asking yourself. Oh, you sweet, sweet person. Jack isn't just strong. He has the spatial awareness of a mom that knows you're touching the thermostat 3 rooms away. He'll track you through walls, predict your moves, and worst of all, he'll wait. This man has the patience of a DMV worker. Let's talk about his mutations, because apparently being an unkillable hillbilly wasn't enough for him. Stage 1, regular Jack. Already impossible to deal with. Stage 2, angry Jack. Ooh. Now with an extra eye and a bad attitude. Stage 3 Jack is something that makes the first 2 stages look like a petting zoo. Okay, but what about outsmarting him? No. Here's the thing. Jack isn't just some mindless brute, like we said. He's got the strategic mind of a chess master. If the chess master could also bench press a truck. He'll cut off your escape routes, herd you into traps, and worst of all, he'll remember your tricks. Try the same strategy twice, and he'll adapt to it. And let's talk about his favorite hobby, psychological warfare. This man will invite you to dinner, crack jokes while trying to kill you, and somehow make you feel bad about not accepting his hospitality.
This was supposed to be a very special feast.
It's like having a murderous southern grandmother. The guilt trips are just as deadly as the actual attacks. The real kicker, even if you somehow manage to actually kill him, he'll just pop back up later. Like that one relative who always overstays their welcome. Your best strategy? Pray. And even then, I'd recommend having a backup plan for your backup plan. Jokes aside, I've calculated your chances against Jack Baker. They're somewhere between winning the lottery and being struck by lightning, and those odds actually get worse the more you think about them. What are some things that sound less terrifying than this? You're gonna be pretty shocked with this list. Your mom's footsteps at 3 a.m., the dentist drill, and your card declining at a restaurant. Hear that? That's the sound of your survival chances dropping to 0. Let's break down why this walking fashion disaster is so terrifying. Name, Mr. X. Age, classified. Occupation, professional wall enthusiast. Hobbies, long walks through RPD. Interior renovations, forceful. Hat modeling, looking for STARS members, and anyone trying to escape. Expectations, your barricaded door will protect you. Reality, he's gonna punch you in the face. First, let's list some things you shouldn't do to try to survive him. Hide under your desk. Spoiler alert, this ain't working. Throwing a flash grenade. Cool, now he knows where you at and you can't see. Trying to reason with him? Yeah, good luck trying to have him hear you over his loud footsteps. Running, I'm gonna give you a 0 out of 10 on that. His cardio is better than your New Year's resolution. Fighting, I give you a 5, but put a negative sign in front of it. It's like throwing a paper airplane at a tank. Hiding, I give you 2 out of 10 just because of the optimism there. Minus points for effectiveness. Praying, 3 out of 10, at least you'll look peaceful while you die. See how all of his paths lead to pain? It's like a really aggressive GPS with one destination.
This is the direction? What are we doing?
It's his fist to your face. Let's talk about his AI for a second though. Because obviously whoever programmed it has some unsolved issues that they need to tend to. He doesn't just follow you. He predicts where you're going to go. Things that bounce off of Mr. X. Bullets, logic, fashion advice, and your prayers. But I want to know, comment below what you would try on Mr. X. Wrong answers only, because face it, all of your answers are going to be wrong. And when he gets really mad, I would normally say something clever, but I'd be too busy running. So for this one, you're not surviving. There's no chance. But if you thought a fashion disaster was bad, wait for the girl who makes your worst family reunion look like a picnic. At least Mr. X was honest about wanting to kill you. So, speaking of family issues, Eveline. Remember the scariest thing about little girls being their weird TikTok dances? Well, meet Eveline. the reason why adopting random children after a hurricane is probably a bad idea. So this is Eveline, also known as E001. Age, she looks 10, but she can also look 90. Hobbies are family bonding, forceful. She likes to do interior decorating, but this time it's with mold. And then her red flags are psychological manipulation and anything else about her. Literally everything. If you thought your family drama was bad and you can barely handle that, how do you expect to work with Eveline? She manipulates you and makes you think things that aren't real. For example, your siblings fight over the TV remote. She fights over your free will. Family dinner gets a little bit awkward. Try the baker's family dinner. Actually, let's not do that. Let me use this as an example. So imagine Eveline sends you a friend request. If you accept her friend request, you join the family. Yeah, that sounds nice, right? Now you're controlled by her and you're probably gonna kill at least 10 people, right? Or you can decline, which results you also joining the family and probably just more pain for you. And then block. That's cute. That's cute that you thought that would work. Yeah, you're dying. Let's talk about her powers. Because little girl with mind control wasn't enough already. She's basically Facebook's algorithm with a fungal infection. She knows what you want, gets in your head, and slowly corrupts everything you love. Think you're mentally strong? Scratch that, it's Eveline. She'll remix your brain faster than a DJ doing a set at a wedding. And unlike other Resident Evil villains, you can't just shoot your way out of this one. So let me be realistic, the only thing to help you is to get her to change. So you could try therapy, that won't work. Family counseling, because she thrives off of wanting a family, doesn't work. Restraining orders, not to be that guy, but this, I don't think it cares about the law. And then running away. If the last ones didn't work, what are you thinking? You're crazy. No. Oh yeah, here's the kicker. She ages like milk in a hot car. But don't let that fool you. She's just as deadly as a grandma with your browser history. Share this video if you've ever wanted to mind control your family. And then click off of it, because what's wrong with you? So here's my actual survival rating for Eveline. So combat, -10 out of 10, because she controls your mind. She'll just make you start punching yourself. Mental resistance. This is actually kind of a good idea, but I don't think you can build up a resistance this strong. And then running away, no. But if you thought family issues with a bioweapon was difficult, meet the tall lady that makes your dating standards look realistic. At least Eveline wanted a family. Lady D, she wants something a little more vintage. So this is the average human height. Don't ask why it's next to me, because remember, I'm 7 foot tall, 900 pounds. This is just, you know, it gets weird. Then this is a basketball player, 6'6". That one's kind of similar, but add 3 to the first one. Yeah, she just sent my self-esteem underground. Lady Alicina Dimitrescu. Taller than your chances of survival. Occupation, wine connoisseur. Castle owner, professional tall person, looking for fresh blood. Literally. Red flags, there you go. Okay, some of the worst ways that you could die from her is trying to hide. That won't work. She can look on top of anything. And don't forget, she's huge. She's pretty strong. She can lift up a piece of furniture and see you're underneath. And attempting to run from her, Usain Bolt was fast because he had a long stride. How big you think her stride is? But when you think about it, she lives in a pretty big castle, so I think the most you could do is escape her for a little bit, but not forever. We have the ground floor, which is pretty open, so she would find you pretty quickly unless you're in the safe room with big guy here. You have the wine cellar in the basement, and then you have the upstairs, and then you have the daughters, but that's not a part of this, but that's a whole nother reason why you wouldn't survive in this castle with Lady D. Let's talk about her abilities, because being big enough to use a basketball hoop as a bracelet wasn't good enough. She has nails that work like claws, superhuman strength, and the ability to make any doorway look comically small. Comment down below what you think you would say to Lady D if you ever met her. A lot of you are probably going to try to ask her on a date, meanwhile, I'll be yelling for help. And then if you're like some of the dudes in the comments, you're like, oh, maybe being stepped on isn't that bad. She turns into a dragon, because apparently a giant vampire wasn't enough of a flex. Okay, now we're going to give a little bit of a survival rating. Running, -5 out of 10. Hiding, 0 out of 10. Like I said, she can look up high. She can lift things up to look down low. Fighting, you're fighting a giant. What do you think? You've played Skyrim. Simping. But if you thought being hunted by a tall vampire was bad enough, wait till you meet the walking weapon platform that makes her look like an amateur. At least Dimitrescu gives you a second to admire the architecture in the building. Nemesis doesn't care for that. He's all business, no pleasure. Unless you count rocket launchers, pleasure. I'll give you a fun fact real quick. The average player dies 47 times to Nemesis before beating the game. And those are the good players. Stars. Sir, how many rocket launchers should we give him? Yes. But sir, the budget. Did I stutter? Here's Nemesis if he had a dating profile. Name, Nemesis, turn-ons, stars, rocket launchers, property damage. Turnoffs, Jill Valentine, and building permits. Special skills, can pronounce stars better than your GPS. This dude thinks gravity is optional. Walls are also optional. Personal space, that he's never heard of that word. And his rocket launchers seem like they're just infinite. I don't think they end. I think he makes them. Stage 1, he's got a little bit of artillery weapons. Stage 2 is tentacle time, pause. Stage 3 is he's literally a cosmic horror entity. He looks like Cthulhu. Things less persistent than him are YouTube Premium pop-ups, that one bug in your room that just won't leave, student loans, and you at dinner time. All this dude knows is cardio, rocket launchers, and leg day. Now we're gonna rate your survival chances against him. Running, it's like trying to outrun your responsibilities. 0 out of 10. Hiding, he can smell your fear and your hair product. -2 out of 10. Fighting, congratulations, you've chosen death. -5 out of 10. Playing dead, let's just say he double checks. But if you thought Nemesis was the peak of umbrellas, why would you make this catalog? Let me show you the man that makes the Matrix look like a PowerPoint presentation. Albert Wesker doesn't want to just kill you. He wants to monologue about evolution while he does it. In slow-mo. And somehow, that's worse. He was originally a STARS captain before he betrayed them. He likes to talk about evolution and himself. Oh, and he really likes talking. He seriously just talks. His daily schedule probably looks something like 6 a.m. Matrix practice, 7 a.m. he tries to betray someone, 8 a.m. sunglass shopping, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. monologue about evolution, 6 p.m. speedrunning, literally, 7 p.m. more betrayal, and 8 p.m. dramatic exit practice. Some things that are faster than him is nothing, nothing, and more nothing. Here's some ways that you could die to Wesker. Being too slow, too human, not wearing sunglasses, and all of the above. Let's give you that survival rating. Fighting, no, you're dumb. Running, why even try? He has super speed, we know this. Hiding, he's right behind you. Debating evolution, good try, smart thinking, he'll win. And then he'll kill you. He's like a monologue of eugenics made into a person. So with him, you're not surviving. And there you have it. Resident Evil villains that you definitely could not beat in a fight. No questions asked. All the way from the hillbilly Jack Baker to the evolution enthusiast Mr. Wesker. These are the ones that make save rooms and video games worth having. Remember to like and subscribe so you can see more villains that you would not be able to beat in a fight. Follow the Patreon to see behind the scenes and get shouted out in videos.